Hello, this is Francisco Olivera, and in this video, we're going to talk about projects, maps, and we're going to start with layers. So first of all, let's see what is a project. A project is going to be a file with an extension APRX. And what the project file contains is pointers to the data sets and instructions on how to display it. So the project itself does not contain the data. I always make the analogy that it's like a cookbook that has all the instructions and it tells you what the ingredients should be, but it does not include the ingredients. So if it has all the instructions, all the pointers to the data, that means that it refers to a specific computer. If you move your project from one computer to another, the project is not going to find the data in the other computer. So what you will have to do is first move the data also to that computer, and also you'll have to repair the project. And you can find instructions on how to repair the project at the link that I'm showing at the bottom. So the first step to create a project is going to be to open ArcGIS Pro. And let's switch to ArcGIS Pro. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to stop sharing the ArcGIS Pro screen. So once you have open ArcGIS Pro, in order to create a project, you click on Map, and you're going to get the following window. So I'm going to call my project, I'm going to call it Learning GIS, and I'm going to save it in a folder. In this case, I'm going to save it at the root level. I have this data. I'm going to save it there. So this is the location. So it says data, and that's the location. So in this data, I'm going to have a project that is called Learning GIS. And I'm going to click on this box. That means that I'm going to create a folder there that is going to be called Learning GIS, and I'm going to store all the data. By default, it's going to go to that folder. So I click OK. And I have started my project. I don't have any data yet, but by default, it's going to come in the way in which you can see it. So the screen is going to consist of the following parts. This part here, where the map is going to be called Map Display. On the right-hand side, we're going to have a number of different panes. So this is going to be the pane area. On the left-hand side, you're going to have the contents. It's going to be a list of all the different data sets that you have in your map. And at the top here, you're going to have different ribbons, just like any other Windows application. So you choose the ribbon that you want to see by changing the menu at the top. So that is going to be the interface. So we have one map. We could add another map if that's what we want. For example, I click Insert, and now I can add another map. Since both maps are empty, they look exactly the same, but I could, for example, add the data of the United States in this map and add data of Europe in this other map. So we will have two maps. That way you don't have everything in the same map if that's what you need. So a few properties of the map, for example, let's call this map. I'm going to add later on, I'm going to add to this map data of the United States. So I would like to change its name to United States. So the name of the map is going to be a property. So I have to display the properties of the map. Right-click on Map, Properties, and under General here, I have the name of the map, and I'm going to call it United States. For example, I would like the display units to be, instead of decimal degrees, I would like it to be, let's say, US feet. So that means that at the bottom of the map, I'm going to see the location of the cursor in units of feet. So I'm going to click OK. Before we go into coordinate system, I'm going to click OK to draw your attention on the following. Look at the map of the United States. Probably you think that that map is stretched east, west. And notice also that this boundary between Canada and United States is a horizontal line. Actually, it's a line with all the same latitude. We're going to change another property of the map, which is the projection. What is the projection? It's the way in which we flatten the surface of the Earth. So again, that is going to be a property of the map. So I right-click, open Properties. We were before in General, and we changed the name and we changed the units. Now we're going to go to Coordinate System. And this is the projection in which that map is displayed. The projection, again, is the way in which we flatten the surface of the Earth. We're going to use another projection. So I'm going to look for this one, Projected Coordinate System. Expand that. Expand Continental. Expand North America. We're going to talk in detail about projections, but for now, I would like to tell you that projections are the way in which we flatten the surface of the Earth, which is a double curvature surface. That is, we cannot flatten it without making a mistake. So in order to minimize a mistake, we have different types of projections depending on the geographic area and depending on which type of mistake you want to make, which type of mistake you believe that is less important. So let's assume that we're going to use the following projection. Scroll down, and use this one, USA Contiguous Albers Equal Area Conic. And you click OK. And now look at the map. This is not a horizontal line anymore. The map is not stretched east-west anymore. The previous map was right. This map is right. These are just different projections. And you can see that it looks good for the United States, but it looks very distorted for South America and also for Europe and Africa, which are very much tilted, as you can see. In this map, we can navigate. So click on Map here, and then click on Explore. If you click on any part of your data, which we don't have yet, you will get some information about your that piece of your data. But for now, you can drag the map. Just click on a point and keep on clicked, or you can zoom in, zoom out with your mouse wheel. Now, let's talk about layers in the next video. But for now, you know how to create your project and you know how to navigate in your map. Thank you.